What happened was.
Hey friends, it's so nice to see you. It's today, the time is now. You are here and the weather is outside your window.
Today's guest really encompasses what it means to be a multidisciplinary artist. He's an actor, a singer, a poet, an author, a composer, a painter, a fashion designer, a producer, and so much more. Please welcome my friend, Ryan Bauer Walsh.
Hi, Zach.
How are you?
I'm doing really well. How are you?
Good. What is that beautiful art you have behind you?
Oh, this is the album cover for The Rainbow Lullaby, which is the LGBTQ plus album I'm working on at the moment with Broadway Records.
Just one of many cool projects you're working on right now.
There's a couple things going on at the moment, yeah.
Yeah, I also see you're wearing something really fabulous.
Oh, yeah, this is my new clothing line. It's Banana Ducks by Tin Pin and RBW Art. It's a gender optional clothing line for kids currently, but the adult line is coming out in December, we're hoping. So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a nice day. I thought I'd wear some colors. It looks like my cat's back there, my muse.
Oh. Well, I mean, we hit it right away. The two main reasons I wanted to bring you on, what happened was you have this fabulous album and you just started a clothing line. And that's, one is, I guess, more expected as a singer. We all, tend to put out albums and it's very exciting. But this particular album is not just a vanity project. It's something very special and you're bringing in so many collaborators and doing something that's not been done before. So tell us more about this and how it started.
Oh gosh. This album, well, I mean, as a little kid, I would sit on the swing set out back and I would write songs and my neighbors would apparently tell my mother that they'd record me. It's not the first time I've written anything, but about 14 years ago, I was kind of thinking about what kind of family I wanted to have. And I started writing little songs and lullabies for me and my someday future husband to sing. And unfortunately, I never found the time to really work on that and make it into anything more than it. But in October of last year, my mother passed away from cancer on October 28th. And I was suddenly faced with that question of like, what does family mean? And the archaeology that you kind of commit yourself to after losing a parent. I was going through all of my childhood things and finding, Lisa Frank pencil boxes and little notebooks with these lyrics that I'd written down, and one of them actually had some of the songs I'd thought about writing for when I had children, and they were lullabies. And my mother used to sing me all these like beautiful lullabies growing up, like tooralooraloora, tooralooralai. And I kept thinking, I don't think there's anything like that for gay families. So, I kind of need something structured to process the grief. And I started writing songs. I asked my friend Fred Souter, who wrote Bedbugs Off Broadway, if he would kind of hold me accountable to this and join me in the effort to write, lullabies for queer families. He hopped on board. We made a demo. We pitched to Broadway Records. And now there's a team of over 50 people who've committed themselves to creating new queer cultural traditions. And it's so exciting. And the amazing thing is we've just finally picked the date for release. It's going to come out on October 28th, which is the 1-year anniversary of my mother's passing. Wow. And it will be dedicated to her memory. So wow. It's been so cathartic, but it's so joyful. And yeah, I'm really excited about it.
Oh, that's so amazing. And to learn more about that backstory and how it came to be. That's something I can very much relate to, is needing something structured to process grief, having gone through, a big loss myself in this past year. And, I've seen that with a lot of artist friends. We not only had our careers paused, right, and had this moment of reckoning where we had to figure out who we are as artists away from venues, away from companies. But then on top of it, going through this collective grief that we're going through in the pandemic. And then on top of that, our personal losses. So it's been a major time of really figuring out who we are and how we process.
Well, and I think one of the nice things about the fact that we're all going through this is that we're all going through it together.
Yes.
There's so much empathy available. Like I've never seen such an outpouring as I did in the loss of my mother. People just banded together. They actually, I, it was I think June 24th or so that I went back to Minnesota, and none of us had jobs, so I put all of my paintings that I'd ever painted for sale on Facebook at half off, and they bought everything. My friends bought everything I'd ever made, and it funded my ability to go home and take care of my mother for the last few months of her life. And so I wanted to kind of take that and also move that kindness forward. And 2 weeks ago, we joined with Ali Forney, the Ali Forney Center, as our official beneficiary and charity for the profits of the album. So everything's going to go to the Ali Forney Center from this album, The Rainbow Lullaby.
Wow.
Which is
wow.
so wonderful, because I mean, growing up queer, I didn't even know what support systems existed for our generation.
Right.
And so now we're kind of creating a structured foundation for the people of the next one. And Ali has done such good work with queer youth. It's pretty exciting to be working with them.
That's incredible. And talk to me about this clothing line and how this came to be.
Well, similar to the album, I was like, I gotta make this not terrible. I have to like find some way to nurture something. Like I wanted that maternal energy still that my mother always gave me. And by the way, amazing shirt.
Oh, thank you.
It looks like something that I would scribble in my notebook, and I love it so much.
Well, I picked it specifically for you, so.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, of course.
I didn't know we matched so well.
Look fun, so.
But yeah, no, it was the same thing. I was like, there's got to be joy in this. There must be some way to create joy and make it more of a lifestyle. And I had met a friend in the strangest of circumstances, coming home from vacation actually with my mother on a plane, and he happened to be starting a company called Tin Pin, and he was just in the process of starting textiles and manufacturing clothing. And so I've always kind of had a fascination with clothes and stuff. And so I pitched in this idea based on these little banana ducks that I make, which are these happy little creatures, but they don't have any gender. All the clothing is non-gendered as well for the line, and they have bruises just like people. But despite all that, they're like just joyful, joyful little creatures. This is our food fight textile that I created, which is a fight between junk food and healthy food. But yeah.
So banana duck is what? Tell me more.
Banana duck. So I've seen other, like, I remember back in the days of what was it? There were old websites where you would just have like photos that you'd flip through that were like kind of funny before like the internet became so organized and structured. And there were these like anamorph pics that I kept seeing of like a watermelon that was also part cat, and there were like bananas that were also ducks and dolphins and other things. And I thought that they were really cute, but I hadn't seen any for a while. But what happened is I painted one randomly I used to teach art classes, and this woman was like, "Can I buy that painting of a banana duck?" And I was like, "Sure." So I sold a painting of a banana duck, and then suddenly all of these East Side mothers were buying pictures for their children's nurseries and bathrooms of banana ducks from me, and it became sort of a staple. And other people have made banana ducks. This is factual. The one thing I've seen that's different is theirs don't have any bruises.
Oh.
They're perfect and kind of unrelatable.
A perfect banana does not exist, as we know. So
no, especially if you get it organic. That's about 5 hours in the fridge.
Oh, goodness. Is banana duck kind of the flagship, the mascot of your brand?
Yeah, this is kind of it reminds me of like Lisa Frank mixed with like 1930s. Do you remember Bauer early illustration? Yeah, and I really, really wanted to do something hand painted to design the collection, because there's so much graphic art out there, and kids can't emulate perfectly straight lines. So there's little wrinkles and mistakes throughout all of this, and it's because I want the clothing to be accessible. Like the whole idea is that it's for everyone, and I think that they're characters kids can relate to.
Yeah, we had Babar on the bookshelf for sure. Yeah.
It was one of my favorite things growing up. Jean de Brunhoff, I think, is the illustrator. And yeah, I just remember being so obsessed with like how his line work and narrative was always so, I don't know, precious and childlike, but like really, really distinct.
Wow. So let me ask you this, as a multidisciplinary artist, do you have a hard time defining yourself to the world as far as what you do? You're an actor, a singer, an author, a composer, an activist, fashion designer, a producer.
um, I struggle with that question a lot because everyone is so eager to put you into to pigeonhole you, to make you one thing so that they know how to market you and they can really sell that one thing. But I think what my thing is that I'm a maker. Like when I think about myself, I feel like the universe took me one day and walked me down a long hallway, and there's all these doors, and each one has like a really specific job on it, like plumber or works at a deli or anything. But mine is this, and I you get to see in these rooms. That's how I picture it, and they're really distinct. It's full of like tools, or it's full of bread and meat. And mine gets to the end, and the universe kind of says, "This is yours," and there's literally nothing on the door. And I go, oh, okay, cool. And I get inside and close the door, and it's completely dark. And then I think to myself, well, if only I could find a light switch, and then suddenly one appears. And I feel like that's what my job is to take the emptiness and to take that lack of and create something new. And that's sort of how I've lived my entire life, is being told I never fit in. So my job is to create spaces for people like that, and for communities that haven't had representation, and create that representation for them. So, it's great to be an actor. I love telling stories, but if I can make new worlds, I will make new worlds.
That's beautiful. Well, can I ask you some questions?
Sure.
Zodiac sign.
I'm a Leo, but that's too predictable. So I'm a Libra rising because I do have emotions.
Sure. Favorite flavor of ice cream?
Dulce de leche. Dulce de leche, I believe. Right?
Whatever. Yeah. Coffee or tea?
I use coffee to wake up, but tea to calm down.
Favorite color?
Yellow currently.
Favorite day of the week?
It's weird, but Tuesday.
I got it. Yeah. Mine's Thursday.
Your energy's like already going. You got rid of Monday.
Yeah.
It's time to go.
You made it. Beach or mountains?
Beach. I'm a sandcastle builder. I have pictures of every sandcastle I've ever made.
Oh, wow. Okay, you can spend an entire year living as someone else. Who is it?
I don't know. Dead or alive? Or are there any parameters?
Yeah, no parameters. Yeah.
I don't know. Just somebody new. I'd probably start all over again.
Wow.
Just to see what else I would do.
Wow. So from day zero.
Sure.
Oh wow. Wow. Okay, you can spend a weekend away with anyone who's ever lived.
I don't know, Zach. You seem fun. Want to go to Fire Island? I missed my camping trip this year, so I guess right now I'd like to see all my camping buddies. But yeah,
most people say like Beyonce or something. I like that you went for your friends.
No, I miss my friends so much. I just spent a year living in my parents' basement.
Gotcha.
All I want to do is see my friends.
Okay, a couple more serious ones. You can go back to any moment in your life and tell your younger self in that moment one thing.
Ooh. There's probably a lot of really serious moments, but there's this really distinct thing that happened where I went to summer school, but 2 weeks too early. I was supposed to be in a French class, but instead I got to the class and it was me and 9 little girls and this like sassy aunt looking teacher. And she started the class and we were dipping Twizzlers in melted white chocolate. And I was like, when are we learning to speak French? And she goes, oh honey, no, this is how to throw a sassy party. And, and I would have stayed in that class.
Oh.
I would have said, Ryan, you know, maybe just have fun. French can wait. You belong here with the Twizzlers and chocolate.
I'm sorry, there was a class called How to Have a Sassy Party?
You know, summer school has a lot to offer.
Yeah. I missed out. I did makeup for math, you know, in summer school. That was rough. Yeah.
So fun. Math isn't something I do.
Oh no. Okay, the last one. It's a big one. What is the meaning of life?
We are. Actually, this is what I wrote on the back of the first banana duck painting that I made for this clothing line. We are the answer to the question, what is the meaning of life? And every day we answer that question in, I believe, our activities and our dreams and our struggles. And if God is asking it, and whatever you think God is, then we are the answer. And it is not something that's answered yet, which I think gives me a lot of hope, especially in times like we're going through right now. It's really tricky right now. I mean, the news cycle is exhausting. COVID, floods, global warming. You know, I think the answer is what we do with it and what we determine it is. Because
Right.
we're just these bruised little banana ducks walking around, you know, not having any idea why they were painted. And the whole point is that, well, I painted you. You exist, therefore you are, therefore it's your question and your answer all at once. So I think that the answer to that question is us.
Yeah.
I hope that we do a better job answering it.
Well, you're doing a great job. Congrats on this upcoming album and your clothing line and all your endeavors. Thank you for your work, and I'll look forward to seeing you soon.
Thanks so much for having me, Zach. It's nice to talk to you.
Absolutely.
That's all for today's episode. Puppies and rainbows till we meet again.